You know what's better than harvesting a few beets? Harvesting so many beets that you're giving them away to neighbors, preserving them for winter, and still having plenty left over for dinner. That's exactly what we're talking about today. I'm going to show you how to turn a modest garden space into a beet-producing powerhouse, and honestly, it's easier than you might think. Whether you're growing in Florida's heat or up north where the snow flies, you're going to walk away from this video knowing exactly how to multiply your beet harvest beyond what you thought was possible. Let's get into it. Getting started with beets. First things first. Beets are one of the most rewarding vegetables you can grow because they give you two crops in one. You get the root that everyone knows, but you also get the greens, which are absolutely delicious and packed with nutrients. When you're trying to maximize production, that double harvest matters. The magic starts with understanding what a beet seed actually is. When you look at a beet seed, you're not looking at a single seed. You're looking at a seed cluster, usually containing 2 to 4 individual seeds. That's why when you plant one seed, you often get multiple seedlings popping up. Most gardeners see this as a problem and immediately thin them out. But here's where we start thinking differently. Those clusters are actually your first opportunity to multiply your harvest. Soil preparation makes or breaks your beet success. Beets need loose, well-draining soil because those roots want to push down deep without hitting resistance. If your soil is compacted or heavy with clay, you'll get small, misshapen roots. Work your soil to at least 8 to 10 inches deep. I'm talking about really loosening it up. Add compost to improve structure and fertility. Beets aren't the heaviest feeders out there, but they do appreciate soil that's rich in organic matter. Here's something that catches a lot of gardeners off guard. Beets are surprisingly tolerant of different soil pH levels, but they perform best between 6 and 7.5. If your soil is too acidic, below 6, you might see some issues with growth. A simple soil test will tell you where you stand, and if you need to raise the pH, some lime worked into the soil a few weeks before planting will do the trick. Now let's talk spacing, because this is where you can really boost production. The standard advice is to space beets about 3 to 4 inches apart. That works fine if you want average-sized beets, but if you want more beets, you need to think about succession planting and intensive spacing. You can actually plant beets closer together, about 2 inches apart, and harvest them at different stages. Some you'll pull as baby beets, others you'll let mature fully. This staggers your harvest and gives you a continuous supply rather than one big harvest all at once. Succession planting is your secret weapon. Instead of planting all your beet seeds at once, plant a new row or section every 2 to 3 weeks. This keeps beets at different stages of growth in your garden at all times. By the time you're harvesting your first planting, your second planting is sizing up, and your third is just getting established. It's like having a conveyor belt of beets coming through your garden. Before we go any further, if you want to see more vegetable growing tips that actually work, hit that subscribe button right now. I put out new content regularly that'll help you grow more food than you ever thought possible in your space. Water is critical, especially in the first few weeks. Keep the soil consistently moist until germination happens, which usually takes 7 to 14 days depending on conditions. Once they're up and growing, beets still need regular water, about 1 to 2 inches per week. Inconsistent watering leads to tough, woody roots that nobody wants to eat. The key is consistency. Here's a production booster that many gardeners overlook. Beet greens can be harvested while the roots are still developing. When your beet plants are about 4 to 6 inches tall, you can carefully remove 1 or 2 outer leaves from each plant. The root keeps growing, and you get an early harvest of delicious greens. Just don't go overboard and strip the plant, because those leaves are feeding the root development. Now you might be wondering about specific timing for different climates, and that's exactly what we're diving into next. Because where you live changes everything about when and how you should be planting for maximum production. For Zone 9 gardeners, if you're gardening in Zone 9 or anywhere in Florida, you've got a massive advantage with beets that many northern gardeners don't have. You can grow them through fall and winter when your weather is absolutely perfect for root crops. This is the key difference that changes your whole strategy. In Florida and similar climates, summer heat is your enemy with beets. When temperatures consistently hit the upper 80s and 90s, beet production suffers. The roots get woody, growth slows down, and you're fighting an uphill battle. But from October through March, that's your beet paradise. Start planting in late September or early October, when nighttime temperatures start dropping into the 60s and 70s. This is when your real production season begins. You can succession plant every 2 weeks straight through January, giving you fresh beets from November all the way into May. That's 6 months of continuous beet production if you plant it right. Variety selection matters more in warm climates. Look for bolt-resistant varieties that can handle temperature fluctuations. Detroit. Dark red is a classic that performs well. Red Ace is another solid choice that handles warm soil better than some others. These varieties are more forgiving when you get those random 85-degree days in December. Here's a game changer for Zone 9 gardeners. You can often get away with planting beets in partial shade during the warmer parts of your growing season, like early fall and late spring. If you've got a spot that gets morning sun but is shaded during the hottest part of the afternoon, use it for beets. In cooler climates, this would slow growth too much. But in Zone 9, that shade protection can extend your season on both ends. The abundance strategy for warm climate gardeners is all about volume during the cool season. When conditions are perfect from November through February, you should have multiple plantings going simultaneously. I'm talking about planting a row or bed section every 2 weeks without fail during this window. Your garden should be packed with beets at various stages of growth. Container growing is another multiplication strategy that works especially well in warm climates. You can move containers to shadier spots as temperatures warm up in spring, extending your harvest by several weeks. Use containers at least 10 to 12 inches deep, and you can plant beets fairly intensively in them, about 2 inches apart. Watering strategy in Zone 9 needs special attention. Your soil dries out faster, especially if you're dealing with sandy Florida soil. Drip irrigation or soaker hoses are your best friends here because they deliver consistent moisture without the water waste of overhead watering. Check soil moisture regularly, and during the drier parts of your cool season, you might need to water every few days. One thing Florida gardeners can do that northern gardeners can't. You can often get a second root harvest from the same plant. After harvesting your beets, if you leave the top quarter inch of the root in the ground with some of the stem attached, it will often regenerate and produce harvestable greens again. The root won't redevelop to full size, but those greens keep coming, giving you even more food from the same plant. But what if you're not blessed with mild winters? What if snow and freezing temperatures are part of your reality? That's coming up next, and the strategies are completely different, but just as effective for multiplying your harvest. For cooler climate gardeners, if you're growing in zones 3 through 7, where winter means frozen ground and spring comes late, your timing and strategy flip completely around compared to the warm climate approach. But here's the good news. Beets actually love cool weather, and you can use that to your advantage. Spring planting in cool climates should start as soon as you can work the soil, usually 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. Beets can handle light frosts with no problem. In fact, a little cool weather improves their flavor. This early start is crucial because it gives you a harvest before summer heat sets in. Here's where cool climate gardeners can really multiply production: the fall crop. In northern zones, fall-planted beets often outperform spring plantings because they're maturing during cooling temperatures rather than warming ones. Count backward from your first fall frost date about 8 to 10 weeks and plant a succession of beet crops. These beets will be sweeter and more tender than your spring harvest. Cold frames and row covers are game changers for extending your season on both ends. A simple cold frame can push your planting date earlier by 2 to 3 weeks in spring and extend your fall harvest well into November or even December in many areas. Row covers give you a few degrees of frost protection and can keep beets growing when unprotected plants would shut down. Variety selection for cool climates should focus on cold tolerance and quick maturity. Detroit, dark red, Chioggia, and early wonder are all excellent choices. If you're really pushing the season in spring or fall, look for varieties that mature in 50 to 55 days rather than 60 to 70. That shorter time to harvest can make the difference between success and getting caught by a hard freeze. Succession planting in cool climates works a bit differently than in warm zones. In spring, plant every 10 to 14 days from your earliest possible date through late May. Then take a break during the heat of summer, unless you're in a very cool climate where summer temperatures stay moderate. Resume planting in mid to late summer for fall harvest. This gives you 2 distinct production periods, rather than one continuous season. One technique that works beautifully in cool climates: overwintering. In zones 6 and 7, and sometimes even zone 5 with protection, you can plant beets in late summer. Let them size up to about 1 to 2 inches in diameter, then heavily protect them through winter. They'll hold in the ground and can be harvested during winter thaws or in very early spring before anything else is ready. This gives you fresh beets at a time when most gardens are barren. The key to successful overwintering is timing and protection. The beets need to develop enough size before hard freezes arrive, but not so much that they become huge and woody by spring. Plant about 10 to 12 weeks before your first hard freeze. Once temperatures consistently drop below freezing, cover your beets heavily with straw, leaves, or row cover. You're creating an insulated blanket that prevents the ground from freezing solid. Cool climate gardeners also have the advantage of being able to store beets extremely well after harvest. When you pull your beets in fall, cut the greens off, leaving about an inch of stem, don't wash them, and store them in a cool, humid place, like a root cellar or even a refrigerator. They'll keep for months. This means you can grow a massive fall crop and have fresh beets well into winter without any special preservation needed. Raised beds warm up faster in spring and drain better in wet climates, both of which help with early beet production. If you're serious about maximizing your harvest in a cool climate, dedicated raised beds for root crops will pay dividends. You can start planting in those beds weeks before your in-ground garden is ready. Wrapping it all up. The path to growing more beets than you can eat isn't about some secret trick or expensive product. It's about understanding how beets grow, respecting your climate, and using succession planting to keep production rolling. Whether you're in Florida planting through your cool season or up north pushing the boundaries with cold frames and fall plantings, the principles are the same. Give them good soil, consistent water, and keep planting in intervals. The beautiful thing about beets is they reward you for good planning. Every 2 weeks you plant becomes another harvest window. Every time you succession plant, you're building insurance against crop failure and guaranteeing yourself a steady supply. And unlike some crops that demand constant attention, beets are relatively low maintenance once they're established and growing. Take what you've learned here and adapt it to your specific situation. Start with 1 or 2 succession plantings and see how it goes. Once you've got the rhythm down and you're harvesting more beets than you initially thought possible, scale it up. Before you know it, you'll be the person in your neighborhood giving away beets because you've got more than your family can possibly eat. If you want to keep this momentum going and learn how to create the same kind of abundance with other crops, check out my video on how to grow loads of tomatoes. The succession planting strategies work similarly, and tomatoes are another crop where you can really multiply your harvest with smart timing and variety selection. That's all for now. Subscribe to see more.